We're back with another episode in this mini-series, the greatest Mount Rushmores of each individual era in the WWE Universe. And I'm bringing in all the best content creators that's out there, so stick around. This is Triple Threat Wrestling. Welcome back to Triple Threat Wrestling. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe. We drop daily wrestling content. Joined with my boy MVP as always, and we got a special guest, Derrick Showtime. All the links to all his social media is going to be in the description box below. Make sure to go give him a follow and all that good stuff. So, Derrick, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
What's happening, y'all? Appreciate y'all for allowing me to jump on the platform. Coming off of a strange yet eventful Elimination Chamber. Canada strikes again.
Yeah, Canada's just ruthless and playing with our heartstrings and all
fuckers.
that. Yeah. I mean, we got a lot to talk about on MVP. We got to dig into that. But anyway, coming back to the topic, we're going to break down the reality era. Some people didn't like it, as far as the content that Vince is putting out there, but there were so many good things to talk about. So we're going to break it off. We're each going to do one per round. So MVP, why don't you kick us off? Who's one of your Mount Rushmore of the reality era?
Okay, the reality era. When I think reality era, I think what started it off, the pipe bomb. My number one is CM Punk.
I figured it would be.
I mean, he pretty much spearheaded it with the pipe bomb and just remained relevant until the end of his tenure at the time. And just no way I could just no way he doesn't get on this for the reality era. So I'm going to see him Punk.
That's solid. I'm gonna go with. You know what? No, I'm not gonna go with. We're gonna go in the order we always go in. We're gonna kick it to Derrick. Sorry, we usually go clockwise on this thing, so we're going to go to you.
Right.
Give us one of your Mount Rushmore.
John Cena, for the simple was putting over new people. Kevin Owens, The Authority, helping bring up Ryback and Dolph Ziggler. He had a rivalry with Randy Orton too, so I'm gonna say Cena is much more for me. A superstar.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with my number one superstars of the reality era, Mount Rushmore. I got to go Bray Wyatt because he was breaking molds that we had not seen before, bringing in the Wyatt family, creating great moments with the Shield and all that good stuff. I mean, he's definitely got to be on here for me. I mean, and it's not just because he's passed, and rest in peace to Bray, but man, he was one of the pillars, I think, of the reality era. So I got to go my boy Bray Wyatt. So MVP, we're coming to you for your second superstar.
My second superstar from the reality era will have to be Daniel Bryan. Now, when CM Punk just up and leaves in 2014, the beginning of 2014, somebody has to pick up the reins and take it over. And the superstar that did that was Daniel Bryan. He spearheaded the Yes movement. He got everyone in the crowd, like at every show, wanted to just take over Raw. And if it wasn't CM Punk chants, it was the Yes chants. And it all culminated at WrestleMania 30 when he wins the WWE World Heavyweight title against Batista and Randy Orton. And Daniel Bryan, he didn't end up being in that Rumble, and you have Batista winning it, and just a sea of boos.
Yeah.
And then number 30 in that Rumble happened to be Rey Mysterio. And when Rey Mysterio gets booed, you have problems. So
Yes.
Daniel Bryan is my
Yes.
second.
All right, Daniel Bryan is a good one. Kicking it back to Derek, who's your second superstar on your Mount Rushmore?
Reality Era second superstar of the era. Honestly, I'm going Randy Orton. I'm gonna piggyback off of WrestleMania 30. Randy, that era with him coming out with Legacy and then shifting to the Authority, that was some diabolical stuff. I mean, Randy was on a different level, and you just did not want to mess with him. He knew how to get inside that head, and boy, great work.
Yeah, no, Randy Orton is a solid pick. So, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go number 2 here. Before it was frickin' Seth Rollins, it was Seth Rollins, and he's number 2 for me because even with the Authority and all that, he carried a lot of great main events during that time against Sting and John Cena. I believe he held 2 belts, United States and the World Championship.
Yes,
so
he was.
I mean,
he was Seth Rollins 2 belts before his wife Becky 2 belts, but that's hey.
Oh yeah, and I mean, just the stuff he was doing was just so phenomenal. And I mean, yeah, he was siding with Triple H and he had the Authority, but he plays a heel so well, and it just worked in all these situations he was in, and it was awesome. Not to mention the Shield stuff happened during that era too, and that's already in another, category on its own. So
yeah.
Seth Rollins, number 2, and now we're gonna go to MVP, third superstar on your Reality Era Mount Rushmore.
My third superstar. It happened the Monday Night Raw after Payback, because I went to Payback where it was the Shield versus Evolution, and in the ring, with the crack of a chair, Seth Rollins single-handedly disbands the Shield. My third is Seth Rollins.
The moment, yeah. The moment, yeah.
But the superstar,
No
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, he pretty much when Daniel Bryan couldn't up and just run with it because of injury, they had to turn to someone that could, like by way of a new superstar. And what good way than to pick somebody out of the trio that you've been lifting up the whole era. And Seth Rollins was the most ready at the time to be the one that you could build your company around. And he did it so with Authority, and he had J&J Security, and like you said, 2 belts. He had the white Power Ranger gear.
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins is my number 3.
There you go. All right, Derek, number 3. Let's get a good one. What do we got?
Number 3, I'm going to pivot. All right. We are in now Women Heritage Celebration Month. So I'm going to go the 4 Horsewomen movement that popped off around 2015, but it started in 2013-14 down at NXT. Bayley, Charlotte, that whole crew. I'm gonna give some shine to the ladies for this next one. Multiple championships between the 4 of them. Multiple WrestleMania moments because of them. And now that 3 of them are still in the same company, they're still making moments now. Longevity, etc., the works.
All right. I like it because you know what, having just the four of them as one of the picks is actually pretty unique because I mean, they did usher in a whole nother realm of viewing that we didn't even know was possible. So that's a good one.
Spearheaded women's evolution.
That's true.
There you
My
go.
number three. Oh, no, go ahead.
Just how powerful and talented some of these women are. They needed that movement more so than we realized.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the point I wanted to make on that because nobody really cared for women's wrestling prior to it or even, when you had it. So it was a good moment.
Yeah. I mean, and before that, all we had was the diva stuff, which was nothing quality.
Clad women.
Yeah.
Jerry Springer type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bathroom break matches, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. So, my number 3, I hate to copy, but I got to copy. I got to go CM Punk because so much great things happened with him during that era. One of the biggest title reigns during that era, 434 days, right, with Paul Heyman?
Yep, 434.
Yep, which was great. The whole leaving with the championship, coming back with demands and like the ice cream bars and just this whole like, this is how CM Punk needs to be, like the best in the world and none of the Nexus stuff and the straight edge stuff. He was just CM Punk and he meant business. And it was very refreshing. That's one of the, I've always said there's like 3 times I've had goosebumps in the last like 11 years. And the pipe bomb is one of them where I'm like, man, is this real or is it not real? And the second one is he left with the championship. And I'm like, oh my God, did he really leave with the championship? And the third one is when he comes back. And Matt knows this all too well. When, Cena's like looking around because Alberto Del Rio had just won the Money in the Bank. He hears the music. That's not Alberto. And he's like looking around, who is it? Punk comes out. And the best part of that is when Cena raises his belt and says the champ is here, but Punk raises his higher and Cena acknowledges it like, yeah, you are the champion. He leaves. Like that, all that is so well done. And for that reason, CM Punk, number 3.
That was that moment it reminded me of the WrestleMania 10 build-up, right? Believe it or not. HBK and Razor Ramon, Godspeed Razor Ramon, we still miss you, buddy. That whole deal, that's what that storyline reminded me of in that moment. So I would definitely agree with the champion, my version, part 2 moment and storyline for Mount Rushmore. I will agree with that. That's a good one.
For sure. So, MVP, it's time to close out your Mount Rushmore of the Reality Era.
I had a hard time with this one because just so many good superstars came out of the Reality Era. But I ultimately went still not 100% sold on it, but I'm just gonna mark it down right now. Kevin Owens.
I love that music.
In the Reality Era, NXT really, really came up, and while still on the rise, Kevin Owens just comes in and just shoots it to the moon. He made a developmental brand relevant when it was more relevant when it was already on its way to be relevant, and just all that credibility when he came to the main roster, still NXT champion, and just confronting John Cena in his debut, it just gave it so much more credibility, and just the feud he had with John Cena coming up, and then when he ultimately won the Universal title in 2016, I meant to give it to Kevin Owens.
nothing beats NXT when Sammy wins the title and Kevin Owens is so emotional with him and buckle bombs, or not buckle bombs, but the apron bombs him. And just like, you're like, wow, that guy is despicable. And look where we are now. They're going to fight again because they have this long history
Which they
of just
did.
coming back to each other. Yep.
Which they did tonight on the card of Elimination Chamber in the hometown. So yeah, they put on for the culture.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, Derek, it's time to close out your Mount Rushmore of the Reality Era. Who's your fourth superstar?
Okay, fourth superstar. I'm gonna have to do it tag team style, I think. It's a toss up between the New Day and the Usos.
That's good. Yeah.
Because
that's a long history on its own.
There you go. You talk about two teams who had a stranglehold on the tag team division and the rivalry that they had for the tag team division. You end up having two champions come out of that, and then for the WWE Championship, and Kofi and Big E, and you might get another one in main event Jey Uso if he can dethrone Gunther in 40 days. So
He will.
I'm gonna have to give that last spot for Mount Rushmore. PG, the 2011-16 era, I'm gonna have to give it combo to the Usos and to the New Day.
I mean, their feud alone could have been the fourth pick too, because they had a long history together. But
there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna close it out again. I don't want to copy, but you got to give flowers where they're due, and I got to go Randy Orton, because there was a lot of good things that Randy Orton did in that era too. And a couple of the moments we saw with Randy that like will always be embedded in our brain from that era is like when him and Cena are going to face off, both title belts are on the hook. You got the ring full of superstars.
Yep. Big old broad that night.
Yep. I mean, Randy Orton is just, whenever he goes to heel mode and becomes like the champion with the authority or whatever, he's just so good. I mean, he should be in the Mount Rushmore of the Reality Era and every era after that, honestly, because he's just so damn good.
Should he? Should he? I mean, it's a toss-up between him and Cena. They pretty much been in every era modernly, as Undertaker has been in the olden eras. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Randy Orton, he's one of my favorites. You know, he's definitely on my top 5 of just like, I just love him and the stuff he does. And, you know, actually Elimination Chamber, he came back with the bald head and I'm like, oh, we're going to get Vicious Orton again, aren't we? He's going to punt kick.
Oh no, he came with the bald head. Oh no.
Oh yeah. So
oh no.
Randy Orton, he's number 4. So that's going to close out the Mount Rushmore of the Reality Era. It's been a blast in the past. So MVP was good hearing from you. Derek, thanks for being on the show. I know we've skirted around you coming on for a long time and finally got there. We finally got you on. So, again, I'm going to put all the description links and all that in our description box for where you can follow Derek as well. And, yeah, follow us on the next part as we go explore the next era. So, peace out.